Okay, it's time to talk about the creative SAC. While students are usually quite concerned about how they can be creative in their response, this is a great opportunity for you to be an author for a couple of hours. However, there are still some things that you need to consider. One of the first things you need to do when preparing for this assessment is to break down your text the same way you would for a text response essay. You need to think about the themes and the characters and the events and make sure that you've understood the text on a variety of different levels. This is an important step in the creative process, as you need to build up your creative response in the same way. What characters am I going to have? What kind of themes am I going to talk about? And most importantly, what is going to be the moral of your piece? One of the most important elements to your creative response is the moral or the lesson that you are going to teach your audience. One way I like to think about it is to put yourself in an author's shoes. Imagine that you're going to sit down for a year and write an entire book. Everything that you do in that book is going to have a meaning for you. You want to teach your audience something. Every character, every symbol, every word is important to you. And you want to do the same in your piece, even if it's only for a couple of hours. The trickiest part of this SAC is finding the balance between writing creatively while still honouring the original text. My top tip would be to keep the text type the same, so if it's play, write a play, and also to keep the same language. This demonstrates that you've really analysed and understood what the text is trying to do. Maybe you might find it useful to add a new scene into the play or the movie or the book that you're studying, or maybe focusing on a different character to the protagonist. The trickiest part of the creative response SAC is the degree to which you can divert from the original text. And this is why breaking down the text according to themes and characters is so important. You need to decide what you are going to keep the same and what you're going to change, and why you're going to do it. Every decision must be justified. If you want to focus on a certain character, you need to have a reason for doing so. And you're going to have to explain this in your statement of intention. So remember, my top tips for acing this SAC are to break down the text in exactly the same way you would for a text response essay. Really think about the themes and the characters and the language, and demonstrate that you know what these elements are like in the set text before adapting them for your own. Make sure there's a moral to your story, and most importantly, be creative.